Well, these guys had a string quartet, and they were playing classical music together, and they have been for a long time. And they got me to do some recording for them, and I was recording their concerts, and I had their music on my computer and started kind of playing around with it, adding drums and bass lines and things like that, and that was the kind of beginning of it. And I showed it to them and they liked it, and we decided to put on a club night in order to perform live together. And so there's kind of 2 weeks between that moment and when we performed live for the first time, and we just wrote loads of music, like 10 songs really quickly. And yeah.
I was going to say, I guess Mozart's House was the first time that the sound of the band was sort of discovered.
Yeah.
Because before that, a lot of what the tracks were quite hip-hop based, kind of hip-hop instrumentals.
Yeah.
And then Mozart's House was the first kind of foray into dance music that's now like what we do.
Yeah, but I think from that first performance that we did at this club night that we organised, this was about 6 years ago, I think we all knew it was something that we wanted to do. Like, it was such an electric atmosphere at the gig, and it was really exciting. So we were obviously doing it alongside other things for such a long time, but now it's cool to be doing it full time.
Sometimes. It's been taken as like a manifesto, and really what it was a kind of flippant, kind of more of a joke really. But sometimes, and then it kind of stuck, and then it kind of made sense to have Mozart's House as the beginning of the album, and we didn't want to take that off because we were attached to it. But yeah, some people see it as like this really bold statement, but really it was just a bit of fun. It's
a love song about being completely content with the person that you're with, and we actually usually write songs by writing all the instrumental parts first, and only when that's kind of pretty much finished, starting on the vocal. So when Jack wrote the original kind of diddly-dee-dee-dee line, we didn't know it was going to be a love song at that point. But then, yeah, it kind of developed into this really happy, kind of quite sentimental thing. Yeah. But we were listening to a lot of kind of 90s music at the time, and you wanted to make something in a similar kind of tempo and style to Rosie Gaines' Closer Than Close, and that was kind of the beginning of it, wasn't it? Yeah, yeah, it's got quite a retro kind of feel, I think. But yeah, that was the inspiration. Yeah, that's Ray Morris who's singing that, and she's a label mate. She's on Atlantic as well, and that was the only song on the album done by email. It was like, and yeah, it's one of my favourites as well. And yeah, I sent the instrumental off to our label, and then it came back, this song, and it's like, cool.
And the instrumental actually started off as a remix for London Grammar, but then it was just too good to give them. Yeah. Had to be kept for ourselves.
Yeah, and she just, so we sent her pretty much the finished instrumental, and she was at the time living in the north of England and recorded this vocal line in a shed. And
she lives in a shed.
She doesn't live in the shed, but she had a shed in the garden, and just sent it back, and it was completely finished and completely transformed the song. Like, we had no idea what she was going to write, and I think it's so beautiful what she's done, and also her voice is so amazing. So we're so happy. It was like the quickest kind of process, writing that song.
They were kind of a friendlier crowd than we're used to in the, not that they hate us in the UK, but they were just so kind of warm and like reactive, which was really nice.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the nicest gigs that we've ever done, actually. And then we met Ron Jeremy afterwards, which was cool. and took him to a party, which was quite weird.
He was very warm and reactive.
He enjoyed your set, I'm assuming?
No, he wasn't there. We met him afterwards.
Yeah, he was just in a bar next door. He was pretty kind of chilled. He gave us a lift to this party in his car, and it was like quite a. I was expecting a kind of cooler car. It was fairly basic, but it's nice.
I guess they say that people have not kind of flashy cars to make up for their size of their penis, and he probably doesn't need that.
Yeah.
Is that what they say?
And we just lost him. It was bad.
He was nice.
Yeah, he was a real gentleman. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some amazing stories.
I bet.